Hi folks, I'm here with another tutorial on how to do a little bit of automotive work. Today I picked up an electric door lock system for a car. It came with 4 door locks and the control unit with a wiring harness. And you can see it was regular $49, on for $20. I bought it at Princess Auto, the greatest store I've ever seen. I love that store. I could just stay in there for a long time. Anyway, there's the box it came from. And I'm installing it on a 2001 Toyota Echo that obviously did not come with factory door locks. The car is actually up on a small hoist right now. It's about 33 inches off the ground, which really saved the day. I can't imagine doing this with the car on the ground. I think it would just be backbreaking. I've been working on the job for hours. I just finished it, and I don't feel fatigued at all, but I can just imagine I'd be in awful shape if I had to do it on the ground. So first thing I'm going to show you is how to get the door apart, and there's not it's easy once you know how, but until you know the trick, you risk breaking the door trim. So this little pop pin right here, you take a Phillips screwdriver, turn it counterclockwise a quarter of a turn, and then this thing can pop right out. Same thing, there's one down, there's one here, there's one here, and one here, and then you take a screw out there and down in the handle. And then the whole door panel is free, except the window crank is still attached on there. So I've got one off here in my hand. This is from the other side, and I'm going to show you how come it's on there. It's on a shaft, like a spline shaft, but it's got this clip that holds it in. And what you need to do for the front doors, it's really weird because it's different from the front to the back. The front doors, you have to pry the door trim away from the metal panel, and then reach up with needle nose pliers and grip that little clip and pull it down, and then you can get this door handle off. In the back, I found it much easier to wedge a flat screwdriver, standard screwdriver, in between the door handle and the door panel. Press that right in, and then use a piece of coat hanger with a real sharp 90-degree on the end, like maybe a 2mm long hook on the end, and stick it in and hook the pin and pull that out. So that's how you get the door trim off. Okay, let's run around to the side that I've got still apart. I haven't put back together yet. The driver's side door is the master controller. So it senses the position of the door lock, and if it's unlocked, it makes all the other 3 doors unlocked. If it's locked, it makes all the other 3 doors locked. So that way you can actually activate it by using your key on the outside, or by using this thing right here. So I get my hand on this guy. That's how I'm doing it. So let's run around. There are a few tricks to installing this in a Toyota Echo. Not exactly sure if I did it the best way, but it's the only way that I could really figure out how to do it. Here's one of the solenoids that came with the kit, right there. And really all it is an electric motor that spins in 2 directions. When you reverse the DC current, it'll spin one way, and if you reverse it and send DC current the other way, it'll spin the opposite direction. And what it really ends up doing is that motor turns. My hand's free here. There's a motor in here that turns a plunger that goes back and forth left to right here. So anyway, long story short, is on this side it had this. Let me see, how is it oriented? This gizmo was in there. I don't know what it's for. Can't quite figure it out. I looked it all over. I thought maybe if you got factory door locks, this is where they installed them in the factory. I don't know, like inside of there. But anyway, I couldn't figure out what value this part adds to the car, and it was the only spot in the back door that I figured I could put an electric door solenoid. So I spent a lot of time figuring out the only place that I could see is right here. So what I did was I used this brass bracket which came with the kit, and I drilled a screw here, installed the solenoid with the bolts through the solenoid here and here, and then one other bolt that goes through the door frame right there. And then this shaft comes along the solenoid, and I guess you can kind of see it there. That's how it hooks onto the top bar is the original, and then the lower bar is the new one I added. So that's the trick to the back door. And I had to there's already a rubber grommet here from the factory, and then I had to drill a hole right there. Now I didn't put a rubber grommet in. If I had one I would have, but I used some wire loom. I'd always recommend that, and it's a pretty tight fit in that hole I drilled, so I doubt that it's going to chafe around too much, but it's fused if it does. So I took the inside panel off here, and along here, and along there. Took all that inside paneling off, and that's how I ran the cable on the passenger side. And on the front door, the lighting's not so good, sorry about that, but anyway, on the front door, I actually followed the same speaker wire grommet, and there's a rubber, like a rubber protected thing right there for the speaker wire. And anyway, I routed the new wires right through there. I can tell you it was a real pain in the neck, and I probably spent 25 minutes on each door doing that. And what I used was a coat hanger like this, and with a hook on one end, and I fed this end without the hook obviously through from the inside of the car right through into the door, and then I hooked my new wires that I was dragging through on that end and pulled it through. I used some grease to lube it up to help it go a little easier, and it was still a pain in the neck. Anyway, I got it done, and on this side of the car I mounted the solenoid right here. This is the passenger side, and in the front door I should say. I mounted the solenoid right here. There were two factory holes in the door frame that you probably might have difficulty seeing. That's one, and there's the other. And I wondered if they were kind of designed for a door lock in the front. But anyway, never really spent too much time on it. My bolt holes would have lined up, but the solenoid would not have been parallel with this shaft right here, which is really what you'd want to have for maximum force issued by the solenoid. So anyway, drilled the holes, mounted that guy right in there, and with the front doors especially, you have to be extremely careful that the wire harness does not get in the way of the window. The window cranks way down, right down to about here, and the only way I figured out that I could run this wire without having it conflict with the door, get in the way of the door, or interfere with the door, is I drilled a hole right in the very bottom of the door right here, and again used some wire loom and fed it through, and then the wire just lies along the bottom of the door, and then it comes up and in through the speaker channel there, that rubber channel, and then inside the door I actually tie up the new wire harness to the existing wire harness for the speaker to keep it out of the way of the window. So anyway, I just want to make sure that that if someone else views this video, they can kind of get a leap start, because I spent quite a bit of time staring at it trying to figure out what to do. So long story short, for 20 bucks and quite a few hours of time, I'd probably be embarrassed to tell you how many, so I won't, but anyways, a few hours of time, I've now got door locks installed in my car, and I think it's going to be a great addition. Okay, good luck with your installation.